Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 19th July 2018. The first issue in news is regarding Section 33(7) of the Representation of People Act of 1951, which restricts candidates to contesting from two constituencies only. Before the amendment, the candidates could contest from any number of constituencies, but subsequently it was limited to two. The issue is in news because the government has recently objected to a plea in the Supreme Court to stop candidates from contesting from two different constituencies, saying that such a limitation will infringe on a person's right to contest in the elections. Also, the government told the Supreme Court that the one candidate, one constituency restriction would require a legislative amendment. The Election Commission, however, has informed the Supreme Court that it had proposed such a measure way back in 2004 as one of the 22 urgent electoral reforms because it highlighted the cases where a person contests election from two constituencies and wins from both, thereby resulting in a by-election to fill a vacancy in one of the two constituencies. The whole exercise of by-election would involve avoidable labor and expenditure, and therefore the Election Commission concluded that the law should be amended to provide that a person cannot contest from more than one constituency at a time. Further, the poll body suggested that a candidate should deposit an amount of rupee 5 lakh for contesting in two constituencies in an assembly election or rupees 10 lakh in a general election, which would be used to conduct a by-election if in case he or she is victorious in both constituencies and has to relinquish one. This is a very important issue and we have to wait and watch for the final verdict of the Supreme Court in this matter. But till then, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the debate on no confidence motion against the central government in the Lok Sabha. The Speaker of the House has accepted the motion to seek a trust vote against the government, and as you know, a notice for no confidence motion against the government is accepted only if at least 50 members of the lower house support it, and if the motion is passed by the majority of the house, the government of the day will fall due to lack of confidence in it. From the examination perspective, please go through what is the difference between no confidence motion and other types of motion, particularly censor motion. The next issue in news is regarding the Criminal Law Amendment Bill of 2018, which will replace the Criminal Law Amendment Ordinance, which awards death penalty for those convicted of rape of girls below the age of 12. The bill also increases minimum punishment in case of rape of a woman, rape of a girl child aged under 16, and also punishment for gang rape of a girl raped below 16 years. While punishments for crimes against girls was enhanced through an amendment to the IPC, there was no mention of the crimes against boys, and the government seeks to address this anomaly through the current bill. The next issue in news is the relaxation given by the cabinet to streamline the production sharing contracts signed in the pre-new exploration licensing policy and the new exploration licensing policy periods. The relaxations include increasing the exploration period granted for blocks in the northeast and easing the sharing of royalties with the developers of the blocks. Also, based on the recommendations in the Hydrocarbon Vision 2030 for Northeast, government has extended timelines for exploration and appraisal period in the operational blocks of northeastern region, considering the geographical, environmental, as well as the logistical challenges. Further, the center has also allowed marketing, including pricing freedom for natural gas, to be produced from discoveries which are yet to commence production. From the examination perspective, see the hydrocarbon exploration licensing policy and how is it different from the new exploration licensing policy in terms of revenue sharing, exploration, and vision. On that note, let's move on to the next issue, which is an editorial regarding the concerns over formaldehyde contamination of fish in different parts of the country. Recently, the studies conducted in states like Tamil Nadu and Goa have found formaldehyde in freshwater as well as marine fish But the Food and Drug Administration has said that the levels found in fish from Goa were on par with naturally occurring formaldehyde in marine fish, thereby triggering suspicion among the residents who accused the government of downplaying the health risk. Because the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has banned formaldehyde in fresh fish, and the International Agency of Research on Cancer has labeled the chemical as a carcinogen by conducting studies on workers in industries such as printing, textiles, and embalming. It was found that in such workers, the inhalation of formaldehyde fumes had resulted in high rates of nasopharyngeal and other cancers, but there is little evidence that formaldehyde causes cancer when ingested orally. In this regard, a 1990 study conducted by US researchers estimated that humans consume around 11 milligrams of formaldehyde through dietary sources every day, thereby raising questions on safe consumption of the chemical. While the presence of formaldehyde in fresh fish points to vendors trying to sell stale fish, but formaldehyde forms naturally in certain marine fish which are improperly frozen during transit. However, this formaldehyde binds to the tissue of the fish, unlike the added formaldehyde which remains free. Therefore, measuring free formaldehyde versus bound formaldehyde can be one way of distinguishing a contaminant from a natural occurring chemical to draw a line between safe and unsafe consumption to avoid any health risk. On that note, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding India's appeal in the World Trade Organization Appellate Dispute Settlement Committee on the imposition of import duties by the US government on aluminium and steel. While, as you are aware, the recent decisions of the US government has triggered what is termed as the global trade war, with China, Japan, and several other countries resorting to similar measures on US imports, and India too has decided to increase import tariffs on 29 items originating from the US, which will come into effect from August 4th. Meanwhile, it remains to be seen the outcome of the proceedings at the WTO and its impact on Indian economy. The final issue in news today is regarding the arguments ongoing in the Supreme Court over women's entry into the Sabrimala temple. The court has questioned how a biological factor like menstruation can be used as a restriction for women to enter into the temple. As you are aware, Article 25 of the Constitution mandates freedom of conscience and the right to practice religion to all citizens of India alike, irrespective of the gender, caste, etc. And it remains to be seen what the final verdict of the court will be in this issue. On that note, I'm wrapping up today's news analysis. Do like, share, and comment to support this initiative. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.